Hey guys, this is Backlog Gaming. Today I'm going to be trying something new. It's just going to be a discussion about a gaming topic. In this discussion today, we are talking about virtual reality, gaming's future or gimmick. So, first off, I'm just going to come out and say that I am pro VR. I am for virtual reality. I hope that virtual reality takes off as a crazy new platform. I was young when we had the conversion from 2D graphics, basically the Super Nintendo, into the Nintendo 64 slash PlayStation era. Those were two systems that I owned when I was a child, essentially, and played. So I knew it was pretty mind blowing when that happened. I am hoping that VR, virtual reality, ends up becoming that. I hope it becomes the next staple in gaming. I hope it's the next big thing for immersion to where we go from. I remember when we used to have 3D graphics with no VR. Now I remember where we have VR and everybody's wearing these headsets and getting extreme immersion. I really hope that it does take off. Now, with that, we are going to cover pros and cons in this conversation. Some of the pros, great immersion. You're not going to beat immersion like this, at least with today's technology. That's just not doable. This is going to literally put you like you're feeling you're in the game itself. Now, I did see at the most recent E3 in 2015 that they had some new controllers. Essentially, haven't looked into them much, but you kind of put your hands in them like this, and they adapt apparently in texture upon what you're touching. From what I've read, that could be crazy. I do understand that Oculus Rift is going to be paired with Xbox controllers going forward. I have mine right here. This is just the Xbox 360 wired controller, so it would be an upgrade for me to have the Xbox One controller, essentially, if I do decide to buy a VR headset, being Oculus Rift. Now, a lot of people are having the discussion of, do you want Project Morpheus or do you want Oculus Rift? Me, personally, I put more money into my computer than I do into new consoles, so I am going to go with Oculus Rift. I've already made that decision. Me as a gamer, I have more games on my PC than any other platform. I also have been working on converting my games, my PlayStation 3 backlog of games onto my PS4. I'm on PS4, but on my PC once they're available in Steam at a discount that I can afford. I'm not rushing out to buy these games at full price right now, but Oculus Rift is going to be where it's at for my PC. Essentially, with this, another pro that we have is that this could revolutionize entertainment as we know it. Essentially, what I mean by that is this could take tourism to a whole new level. This could take architecture to a whole new level. This could take selling a house, real estate, to a whole new level. It could also take vacations to a whole new level. It could take concerts to a whole new level. Just because that it was developed for gaming by a gamer doesn't mean that that's where it's going to stop. Essentially, that we might be able to see on NFL Sunday games, they may build cameras into the helmet somehow to where we can see the point of view of a quarterback, or you could dial over and see, like a tackle or a tight end, and see what they see, essentially see what they're looking at, what they're viewing, and have that immersion like you're actually in the football game. That would be crazy. That'd be mind-blowing. Another thing that would be mind-blowing would be at a concert, sitting there looking at, you may not be able to travel to see said band play. I live in Nebraska. I don't live anywhere close to where a lot of bands that I want to see come close enough. It just doesn't happen very often. So it's like, hey, if I could buy a VR ticket or a VR stream to sit there and watch the concert live in VR, like I'm there, that would be great. That's something that, I would be interested in as a consumer. That being said, when I say architecture, we may be able to see a day and age where people are able to walk through 3D rendered areas like a video game building, essentially, and view what an end product would be and adjust it and actually feel like you're actually there before you even start building stuff. You could change your whole floor plan based on this. I mean, that's not unheard of. Essentially, that would be crazy, with the architecture. Like, I want to see how this skyscraper is. I want to walk this skyscraper. I want to fly around the skyscraper and look at it. What does it look like from this angle? What does it look like from that angle? So essentially, it could revolutionize movies. Even I have seen some Kickstarter start or some crowdfunding start for VR movies. Now, I know I said a while back that I read that you could watch 3D movies with the Oculus Rift. This was back when they had the dev kits. From there, people say it was like a whole new experience they've never had before. So that's what I'm looking at, the bigger picture. What could VR essentially be used for? Interactions, meetings. It could be used for 100 different things. The possibilities of where this is going to go are endless. They don't even know what we could be getting into. This could be a whole new era of technology that everybody should be excited about. But with new technology does come great risk, and in those risks, we may not know what the long-term risk might be with VR to our brains. I know a lot when 3D TVs came out, everybody's like, oh no, don't get those. They'll give you fucking brain tumors. Guess what? I got one sitting right behind me, right over here. And I don't have a fucking brain tumor. So it goes to show you that some people are going to be full of shit. Some people aren't going to be, people are going to claim what they're going to claim. Obviously, that's what happens. Whether or not they get footing behind it, that's going to be up to the dumbasses that share that information. So from there, with some of the cons, essentially things that could dampen VR's future. This is where you got to ask yourself, okay, obviously this piece of hardware is not going to be free. I'm going to have to pay money for it. Essentially, it's a product. I'm going to have to buy the product. So when we look at it, it's more hardware that I have to pay for. So it's an out-of-pocket expense. $300, $350. I'm fine right around those areas. That ain't, for me, for my PC, for parts that I've paid for already, that ain't horrible. I mean, it's pricey, but it's not horrible. Essentially, would I like it cheaper? Of course, but I obviously want to buy quality. I mean, that's the main thing. So you're going to have more hardware, more wires, more everything. You're just going to have to deal with that, organize it the way you need to organize it in order to do that. Essentially, going forward, I don't know how exactly I'm going to wire it. I know that hopefully they have some type of cable management that comes with it. I don't know. I've never put one on again. As I stated, I live in Nebraska. You think they got any VR testing over here in Nebraska? No. Not a single bit. Ain't nobody got that. So, I haven't tried it out. I want to. I've been really into VR ever since it was first announced way back on the Kickstarter. First, I thought it would be a fucking dumb idea. Then the more I got to think about it, I'm like, wait, this thing might be worth the damn with the G-force you feel in your body. I mean, racing games for me can make a huge comeback. Anyways, back to the cons. Something that may dampen this taking off is that it's going to be a costly development cycle. Now, what I mean by this as a costly development cycle is that developers of AAA games are going to have to essentially put more time and more development and more money into their games to make a higher quality product. Now, are they going to do that? Well, recently, from what we've seen, fuck no, they ain't going to do that. They're sitting here pumping out half-assed fucking games that don't even fucking work. Batman, Arkham, the new Arkham game, fucking on PC's utter fucking shit. You got fucking Assassin's Creed was released like shit. You had Destiny, which was a fucking joke of a game for having, what was like $500 million in development cost. It's a fucking cash grab with expansion packs. You got previously any type of EA game. I mean, you look at this shit and you really fucking have to sit there and ask yourself, like, should I pre-order this game? Is this game even gonna fucking work for $60? Should I waste the fucking money waiting? No, you shouldn't. You should just wait. But essentially what I see from that is, oh, marketing and our accountants and our investors told us that we need a fucking return on our investment, release the fucking game, and said party, which is the development party, is saying, no, it's not done, and they're saying, I don't care. So essentially what that tells me is that they're not going to want to do VR because guess what? It costs more money. And more money means that we have to sell more copies. It's the whining, pissing, moaning of the gaming developers that do this, and it's annoying, that these large companies that are more than capable of making these games essentially do not want to spend the extra money on development now. So why are they going to want to spend such development time later? I mean, it makes no sense to assume that these companies are going to do this. Now, with that said, there are some AAA companies that have signed on that they are going to do this. One of them is Square Enix. I did recognize them. There was obviously some other indie developers that signed on, and I think Harmonix, I can't remember, signed on. Now, essentially, what just crossed my mind is Final Fantasy VII in VR would be fucking dope. Maybe. That's mind-blowing. That's a scary thought. That's an addiction. Anyways, back to the negative. And essentially, motion sickness. If people are running these VR devices on systems that aren't up to par, they are motion to frame rate issues, which is going to cause motion sickness. Now, there are some people that just essentially aren't going to do VR because they suffer from motion sickness, so they may feel that either though if they get it to a point where there is no motion sickness, which essentially if you have a strong enough system is the case, that they still may not want to spend the $300 to $350 to find out whether or not they're going to puke their brains out. So they're going to have to take that into consideration, that there is going to be some type of individuals that aren't going to buy it. Like, the market's just not for them. They are a gamer, that's who you're trying to target, but essentially it's just not going to work out. Another one with this is, I kind of touched on this, long-term health risk. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how people's phobias are going to play into virtual reality. I don't know what it's going to do to our brains. As I mentioned before, people were claiming when 3D TV came out that it was going to grow brain tumors in everybody's hands. Oh, new technology, grab my pitchfork, fuck this shit. No, fuck you, you're a fucking idiot. Anyways, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how people are going to react to, per se, I don't like spiders. So I'm obviously not fucking stupid enough to buy a game where I fight fucking giant ass spiders and they're fucking jumping out and crawling on me. Why wouldn't I buy that? If I know I'm afraid of it, why am I going to buy it? But essentially, there's going to be the fucking idiots out there that do that. Are they going to be so traumatized that maybe they just die, like literally scared to death? That would be fucking nuts. And then you bet your ass the government would come locking down like, oh, this shit's killing people, we need to take it away, Fuck that. Like, if you're stupid enough, I'm pretty sure there will be warning labels all over that shit. Like, hey, if you suffer from arachnophobia, like if you're claustrophobic, or, maybe you're afraid of snakes, or, this and that, there's going to be warnings fucking galore, because people are going to file lawsuits on this shit. And the gaming companies that are creating this are going to cover their fucking ass. It's going to be CYA all up in that shit. So these were really like the main pros and cons that I could think about. Essentially, I do hope that VR takes off in the sense that it does well. I want to see that be the next jump from 2D to 3D, from 3D to VR, Maybe we wouldn't have to push graphics so hard if the VR support is there. That may be the possibility. So essentially, hope VR kicks ass. Hope it comes out, just totally revolutionizes everything that we look at in the entertainment prospect. I hope I'm doing Let's Plays on this channel with my fucking Oculus Rift right in my face. Just loving every minute of it, or, shit like that. Like, I love new technology. Don't get me wrong, I love new technology. So anything that may revolutionize our day-to-day life. What if you could get customer support in VR? Fucking put on the headset, boom, I'm fucking projected in your living room, fucking pointing that shit on the fucking goddamn computer. That's fucking mind-blowing to me. The next thing that's mind-blowing to me is going to be the fucking HoloLens that Microsoft is doing. I'm in your fucking room. Oh, let me stretch out this. Let me fucking play some Minecraft. I don't even play Minecraft. But you get my point. Technology is an interesting thing that we're developing so rapidly that it's going to get very exciting very, very fast from where we're going. It's mind-blowing. 25, 26. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, back in my day, we had Super Nintendo graphics when I was younger that I can remember. I remember NES graphics. And now we got shit looking like Halo 5, fucking Skyrim, fucking crazy-ass shit. Just crazy-ass games that look amazing, We got all this technology, like that, all that ramp up, Look at our movies in the past 10, 15 years. Living in exciting times, people. I hope you're really paying attention. I hope that you capitalize on this. I hope that you're excited as I am. I understand there are going to be people out there that could give a fuck less. But if I do say this, if you're watching this video and you don't give a fuck less, obviously you do give a fuck because you clicked on the damn link. So enjoy, guys. It's going to be a fun and awesome ride. Anyways, that's all I got for this discussion. If you guys want to hear more discussions in the future, feel free to subscribe. If you guys like this discussion, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. That's always great. If you guys want to continue the discussion about what your thoughts on VR are, down below, even if it's negative, we'll sit there. We'll still have a casual conversation amongst ourselves. Feel free to comment down below. Anyways, till next time, I'll see you guys later.